You are the CEO, you're the CFO, you're the COO, and you are also the marketing director. All of the things, you wear all of the hats. That takes a lot of time, and you have to invest that time usually in the early days because you don't have the money to pay all those people that you need to have on your team. You're now listening to Design Curious, a place where you, creative one, are here to learn about what it really is like to be an interior designer. And I'm your host and mentor, Rebecca Ward. If you're worried about how to succeed in a creative career, if you're ready to learn your next steps to become an interior designer, and if you want the satisfaction of doing something you love every day, you are in the right place. Grab a coffee, a notebook, and let's dig into today's episode. Hello, and welcome to episode 197 of Design Curious Podcast. Today on the podcast, we are touching on your mindset about investing in yourself and in your business. I am going to attempt to draw the line for you of how you are leading your clients when you invest in yourself and in your business, to show them that they need to invest in a professional like an interior designer to get their home done the right way, efficiently, beautifully. So we're going to draw that line for you. And before we get into that episode, I definitely need to remind you that this is the last call to get into boot camp. The doors will close the end of June. So July 1st, we will be kicking off our boot camp. So there's a few spots left. I'd love for you to get in there. We really just get so much accomplished. I mean, you could just really hammer out so much within the next 8 weeks. You are going to be so far ahead. And after listening to this episode too, you'll understand why you need to invest into this boot camp and into your business. So let us get into the episode and really explore this idea and this mindset. So this kind of piggybacks on the episode that we had 2 weeks ago about some of the questions that I get asked from people who are looking to start their career or their business, and kind of the mindset that you need to have as they're approaching starting that. And I kind of had a revelation a while back where I really equated that I am asking clients to spend the money and trust the expert to do it right for them, right? That's the pain point for them, is that they don't have the knowledge or the time or energy to put into designing their own house, making the millions of decisions that designers have to make. And so it's worth paying someone else who has that experience and has that expertise to design the house for them with their best interest in mind. So turning the tables that you are asking that of clients, you should also apply that to your own business and your own career, and ask for an expert who has experience in helping people who are either transitioning careers or starting businesses and have helped people through that process before, has a structure in place to make it go easier, to make sure that they make the right decisions from the beginning, and investing in time to allow that person to help them is the same thing, right? And so that's what I'm asking of you to think about. And it's not just for me, like I'm not just saying my own programs, but there's a lot of other programs that you should be thinking about as well in each stage of your career. So I happen to deal with people who are just in that 0 to 2 to 3 years of starting their business or starting their career. There's going to be a next level that you go to really develop the meat of your career. And there's going to be different people that you want to bring on to help you move through that. So that could be mindset coaches, fractional CFO type people might come in and help you make decisions. Because in the beginning steps, you just need a bookkeeper, an accountant, right? And then as you develop income, you develop wealth, or you develop strategy, you need a fractional CFO maybe to help you get to the next level and understand, are you charging enough? Where do you go next in the next level? How do you invest back into your business? When should you do it? So obviously, there's other professionals out there. And then as you become an established business, there's even another level that you might want to seek out, like a mastermind group or even a higher level coaching. And so this is not something that it's one and done. It's a mindset shift that you're going to have over time. And there's a difference, obviously, from going back to the beginning of dabbling in business and building in a serious business. Sometimes designers or decorators get a bad name for themselves, or they're misunderstood because there are a lot of, I don't like to put too many labels out there, but like we'll just say decorating housewives out there who have a little bit of time, a little bit of sense of style, but they don't want to commit to having a business and really helping people. So they're just doing it on the side for almost free. And it really does a little bit of a disservice to our industry for those people who are exposed to that and think that is what an interior designer does. So you're not in that position. You are a serious designer, and you then are going to want to invest in the things that take time and energy. You're going to want to invest in education, your systems, your support group, legal protection, financial clarity, and you're going to want to invest in building confidence in your processes. And so this is all a part of things that help set you apart from accidental designers, shall we say, who are just dabbling. And it's really going to make a difference to the client too. It's an entirely different experience that they're going to go through. You're not just their shopping buddy who comes in and makes the space look good for the season, but you are thinking about improving their way of life on so many different levels that the client is not even aware of. So we'll just start with that. That investment is one of the first steps to setting you apart from those who are not taking the industry or the career very seriously. Investment also is not just about money. It's not just investing money. Especially in the beginning of your business, it's going to be investing a lot of your time, blocking time to work on your business, learning things like how to price and sell your services. And it takes time to build your process. Then you got to practice your consultations, and you're going to have to try out your systems and work on creating boundaries and keep adjusting your mindset. It's going to take time to enforce that mindset. It doesn't always happen immediately and never shift back. It's something that you constantly have to be mindful of. Getting further education. So I highly encourage all designers to continue learning and continue being educated about different product, about different ways of doing business, about the science in the design, learning maybe feng shui, biophilia, or maybe even learning how to do a different type of interior design. So maybe you do, residential, but you want to work your way into commercial. That's going to take a lot of education. There's completely different products and set of rules that you have to design by. It's going to be hard. Like I said before, you can do hard things. It doesn't mean you shouldn't do it because it's hard. So yeah, investment is not just going to be about the money that you're investing or reinvesting into your business. You might not be able to hire everyone that you want right away, but you can still make a plan for it. Maybe right now you are wearing all the hats. In my Design Mentor, I have a sample organization chart that I like to show people. At the top, it kind of has, the CEO of the company, and it's like structured for an interior design company. And as it trickles down to all the different roles that can be in a firm, it can be up to like a 30-person business. And when you're starting out, you have your name under all of those. You are the CEO, you're the CFO, you're the COO, and you are also the marketing director. All of the things, you wear all of the hats. That takes a lot of time. And you have to invest that time usually in the early days because you don't have the money to pay all those people that you need to have on your team. So that is something that will shift eventually over time, is that the more money that you can make from your business, the more you are able to hire someone else to fill that position so that you can free up your own time for personal or whatever you want to do. You might not be able to hire everyone that you need right away, but you can still invest your time, your focus, your energy, and your willingness to grow. The money will come because we're building a successful business plan and you're going to be profitable, but that wealth has to build up over time. It doesn't happen overnight. And so instead of the money, you're going to be investing time and energy and all those other things. The thing, though, that is hard for a lot of designers, though, is that in the early days when you don't have a lot of money, then it's hard to invest every dollar. Like every dollar you see going out as an expense feels hard. And a CEO does not spend randomly in their business. So going back to being intentional, you want to invest strategically into your business. And you can do so by asking yourself a few questions. When you come to something that you want to invest in, you ask, will this help me build my business? What mistake could this help me avoid? So if I'm seeking an expert, like a tax accountant, are they going to help me avoid having to pay back taxes? Then if the answer is yes, then it's probably a really good investment. What clarity and confidence can this create for me? And what is the cost of not investing? Oftentimes, you might decide not to invest because you don't have the money, but what is that going to cost you? Oftentimes, it is time. It's going to cost you either your own time of investing or it's going to take longer for something to come about. This can be said of like marketing, where you should always be marketing. And if you could pay someone, have a marketing director. I believe I interviewed someone who was like the first hire besides a bookkeeper, or maybe even before a bookkeeper was hiring like a marketing person so that they could get clients in the door. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. That was where they valued the money that they wanted to invest in their company because they knew that the faster they could get clients through the door, the more they'd have money for other things that they wanted to do. So you have to consider, what is the cost of not investing in something at this point? And not investing in a marketing director might be the right answer for you. You might be able to do a lot of your own to start with, but you might not even want to take that on. So investment should be intentional and not impulsive and not reactive. You're not reacting like, oh, I didn't have any new inquiry calls this week. It must be because I wasn't marketing. Well, that's too short of a time to really understand. That's being more reactive to the situation than actually looking at the data that you've collected and say like, well, we had like 20 the week before and 20, happens to come next week. And so it's like just that week happened to be a blip. So making sure that you're not operating your business out of emotion is very important. A lot of times you'll feel a certain way, but when you take a look at the data and the facts, it's actually not true. And so having other experts in your life or coaches who can help you evaluate that and be like, hey, I know that's how you feel right now, but look, you had 20 consultations last month and 15 the month before and 10 the month before. So you are making progress and you are getting a return on your investment. And so we all need help with that. You can't just run a business or start a new career all by yourself, all siloed. Like you have to have input from outside. It's really going to take you so much farther. And clients want to value your expertise. So you have to value other people's expertise as well. We know hiring a designer is worth it. So we also should know that hiring a tax accountant, a bookkeeper, a marketing person, a website designer, a logo designer, anything that you think that you might be able to do yourself, and maybe you can, could probably be done better, quicker, more effectively by someone else. And so think about that when you go to do something, that you might want to invest in some of these experts too, like coaches, lawyers, bookkeepers, like we said, photographers. It's a big one too, especially for interior designers. Like, don't try to DIY your photography. I know a lot of people do, but especially nowadays, it's really important to have great photography. Even logo design, like hire a professional to get something unique and different that's not necessarily just AI generated, but that really speaks to you personally. Only an expert can do that. If you're going to ask your clients to invest in you as an expert, then you need to lead by example and invest in other people in your business. And that also shows clients that you take your business seriously and they have more trust in you for that. Also, it helps to build confidence for you in your business. And so as you invest in your business foundation, you're going to stop winging it, which you never should do. You're going to know your pricing and your process and what your contracts says, and you can explain your value and lead your client. And it changes how you show up for your business too. And clients can feel that when you're leading versus hoping that they're just going to go with you because you have some great design ideas. But if you're actually leading them, then it really changes the game. Not investing, just to think about, can be expensive as well because you might find that it can cost you in other ways, like undercharging means that you are not going to make as much profit in your business, so you don't have as much money to reinvest or to go on vacation. Or if you have a weak contract, it can make you vulnerable. If you have scope creep and don't allow for it, then you will be losing profitability. If your client's confused through the process or frustrated, then they might not give you a referral. It'll dry up your pipeline. Or if you have poor boundaries in your business, then your family will get upset. You're going to get frustrated with yourself. You might have messy finances if you don't hire an expert, and then you're going to get in trouble when it comes to tax time. Or you might just get burned out, and so many designers do. This is probably the number one thing that I hear from designers later in their career is that they are burned out because they haven't invested in themselves, built structure, built systems, and taken the time and money and effort and energy to really set themselves up for success. And if you keep trying to do something that doesn't work, you're going to burn out. Or you might waste your time. You might be able to, kind of like I did, starting out, I could have gotten on to the next level so much quicker than I did, where it took me 5-10 years to kind of get to a place that I wanted to be in the first 3 years. And so in a way, I kind of wasted time, not doing myself a disservice and my family. Or you might end up second guessing everything. So sometimes you'll realize that the cheaper path becomes the more expensive path in the long run. I don't have to tell you all the ways that boot camp can fulfill what I'm saying about investing in yourself and in your business. I know you know. So like if you are interested and you want to start the right way, then I highly suggest get in right now. The doors are open for Launch Your Business Boot Camp. You're going to love it. I can pretty much guarantee it because I have had so much great feedback from the designers going through that they are just amazed about how much is in there, about how helpful it is, and what a relief it is to have a plan that they didn't have to come up with themselves, but that they can implement and really just be able to start the career that they love without having to wait too long or go to multiple sources to find all of these things. It's all in one place. Investments can scale also as you grow your business. And so you might invest more time and energy at the beginning and less money, and then eventually you'll shift to investing more money and then probably a little bit less time and energy, or you can refocus your time and energy on something else as your business grows and you bring on experts. And then the experts will expose you to other areas that you might want to look for more experts to help you with that you never knew you didn't know. If you're starting a business and you've ever read any entrepreneur books, the goal is to have yourself kind of be redundant in your business, if at all possible, as you're building it so that you can take time out. Because you're really building a business, first of all, for autonomy and for the personal satisfaction, being able to do what you love for a business, for a career. But then also you want to have freedom from your business. And so if you can create these processes and systems, then it can function. You can hand it over to someone else for a week or two or full time and then have them do everything that you don't want to do. And you can step away and go on vacation and invest in more learnings or support other designers or do a mentorship program like I've done now. So it's really important to understand this investment mindset from the beginning. So just to close you out, that this investment mindset really is the CEO mindset. Go back and listen to some of the episodes I've done about CEO mindsets. Listen to other people's podcasts about it. It's an important mindset switch that you need to have to make sure that you can have the most satisfying career possible. And that's all I want for you. So not just to be a creative person, but to be a very smart and intentional one who is loving the career and can help other people through it. I hope that helped to shift your mindset a little bit around investing in your business. It is a lifelong thing that you're going to be doing, whether you're investing in My Design Mentor or Bootcamp or any other coaching program out there, or even a professional, accountants, bookkeepers, all of that is investing in your business. Trusting a professional, trusting someone else who has that expertise, who can do it better than you. It's a really important step. It's kind of like shifting into a CEO mindset. We've had other episodes on that as well. So go back and take a listen to that. And don't forget, just a reminder that our prices are going to go up here July 1st, just a couple of days for My Design Mentor. For Bootcamp next time around, it's going to be higher as well. So if you want to get in and lock in at this lower rate, then I suggest you do so right now. Links are in the show notes to get signed up. I would love to have you in there. And I am so excited every time someone signs up because I am so happy for you. It just makes my day because I'm like, look at this person, this designer is getting it right. She is investing in herself and in her business and wanting to start out the right way. Opposite of what I did my first 5 years. So good for you to take that first step now. So that is all I have for you this week. Next week, we'll have another great episode. And actually, we're going to launch into a summer series of just having guests for a couple of months because I have been interviewing like mad, different designers and different guests for you. And so I just thought we need to have a bunch of those episodes back to back so I can get these episodes out because it just gets delayed too long. There's some really good people that you want to listen to. As well as our 200th episode is coming up. So I'm going to have my designer Lillian Janik back to talk about some fun things for the podcast. It's for our 200th episode. So can't believe it's already there already. All right, you guys have a great week and stay creative. Thanks for listening. If you love this episode, please leave a rating and a review. This helps me reach other curious creatives like you. If you have a topic request or would like to contact me, simply head over to my website, rwarddesign.com, or email me at podcast@rwarddesign.com.